First of all, thank you all for being here. I know that I'm the person who is holding you between the end of this conference and actually going home and enjoying a weekend. So really thank you and appreciate that you stayed. Before I start, I will just say a couple of words about Andritz Group, which is a manufacturing company with 35,000 people around the world. They are in industries like metal, like paper industry, hydros, and biofuel, and some of others, and they are really quite a leader there. But in regards of IT and knowledge about them in IT sector, they are not really so popular, so that's why I'm explaining this. Because of my free spirit, I have to say that whatever I say today is my personal realization and based on my experience, but rather don't take it as official statement of the group. So, why I have a free spirit? So I am a happy wife and a mother of two. The third is in development, and I have really range of different kind of interests coming from gardening and starting everything from seeds to the new technologies and now AI. In my work, I really, even in Andritz, I work in AI team for introducing new technologies and introducing new ways of working. This is really of interest for me, and I'm really passionate about that because in everything I try to find a way how we can improve our ways of work and work more efficiently. So I have also a little different relevant experience in other companies, and I really like to play with new technologies, which is also this video was of my picture, so this is AI generated. So this is maybe a slide that we can all agree upon, and that's that today's need is actually to have AI transformation. And not only in IT companies, not only in one particular industry, this is going to be across the whole in all the industries and all company sizes and what they do. We can take a parallel between digitalization and now need for AI transformation. So in a sense of even 20 years ago, we started with the digitalization, but we also have to be aware that maybe it's a little bit harder for IT companies, that some companies and industries are still in process of digitalization. And now, there's even more need for AI transformation, which is like a next step that not everybody is really prepared. So for AI transformation, it was somehow expected from all the industries that IT is going to lead it. IT is going to do the job as they did for digitalization, and they will actually first do the transformation in-house, do the transformation in their projects, and then bring it to the other industries. Actually, it was, everybody had a feeling that they are going to involve. IT industry is going to involve and going to bring that new transformation to other industries, especially the ones who are considered to be old industries. But IT is struggling. And now when we are thinking about last 2 years, we really see that IT companies are struggling with AI transformation. We also, throughout this conference, we saw that IT companies are trying to do AI projects rather than AI transformation of their organization. So I will be bold and say they are behaving a little bit as a teenager. Because it's it is newer industry when we compare to others, and they never actually had a need to do any kind of big transformation in their organization because digitalization was something that they already did. So they did not have any need to do some changes in their own, so they just brought it to other industries. Now, with AI transformation, actually IT companies would need to grow up, to take also, to acknowledge at least experience from others and actually see what are the needs of real life and try to adapt it. But we are now seeing that really IT companies are not much learning of other industries. So we are now in a little bit absurd situation where old industries or other industries are better in implementing AI transformation in their organizations than IT companies themselves. because IT companies are too much focusing on what I said for implementation for their projects, rather than throughout their whole organization. This is one segment when we are talking about industries, but there is also a big point about like a difference in the size of the company, and which is actually quite important for AI transformation. If you are a startup, smaller company, like you can move fast. Your culture of people is more adaptable to changes, and you don't really have any bigger obstacles to change. So you are like more into this change culture than other companies. Of course, there is also mid-sized companies that we see right now are actually balancing act, and most of our companies are actually mid-sized companies, and they are really trying to find a balance between customer projects, which bring money in the end, and the growth of the company, which actually on the first site doesn't bring any money. So they really have limited resources to really give to their AI strategies, to give to their like AI teams or heads or whatever. And actually they are fighting and are in survival mode because the whole market has changed in last years, and there you are always fighting for that one customer who is going to be like your new project. And then we have really large enterprises, which are like massive tankers. If you are working in one, you are feeling that you are stuck, you are feeling that you don't move at all. But the thing for them is that if they are changing just so slightly their course, they will end completely in some other destination. And this is a thing by them that large enterprises, as for example Andritz, who is 160 years old, they went through multiple transformation. They don't even care about the technology itself. The whole enterprise know how to do transformations because they already went through it multiple times. And even as I said, they don't have to consider the technical impact of it. They know how to behave. And this is something that from the old industries and from enterprise that everybody can learn. So, of course, there are some like differences in the sense of time and resources needed. But what I mentioned is there is something that every company, in regards of their industry or size, should do the same. And this is actually that approach to AI transformation that should be strategical. I'm really glad that actually on the conference I heard it multiple times that we should focus more on the strategic approach rather than this particular like a portional approach to transformation. And as I said, like this strategic approach is really something that we should consider a little bit more. We should really take time to create strategic initiatives throughout organizations and really see what AI can help us with. Really see not only in development, not only in IT, but rather throughout the whole organization, every department of the company, to see how we can improve our way of work and how we can actually get from AI the best out of it. So there is always a first step. And all of this, what I said till now, is something that you probably heard before. But one thing that was never a little bit talked was that first step and the mistakes and the number of mistakes done in this first step. And this is like just acknowledging your current situation. Most of the companies struggle to acknowledge or like really objectively review themselves and their situation. So this is something that actually all industries are quite good at. And this is something that we did for our company, and this is something I wanted to share with you how to do maybe it. And maybe you will have some ideas. So in other industries, there is a concept of like understanding company's maturity level. And it is an old one. But the good thing here is that you really can relate whatever your role is, in whatever your department are and your company is doing, you can actually use this model to really analyze your current situation and then like see where you are at right now, and think about your own situation right now when I'm talking about this. So, the first level is called black box. What does this really mean? Whatever you do, as I said, in whichever industry you are going to have some kind of input for your work, you will have some kind of process, and you will have some kind of output. The bad thing in IT industry is that we went for agile for now years, and we did not really appreciate the documentation. So we always said, and also the agile was defined a little bit strange in every company, and that brought us that for every customer, every project, we have a little bit different approach. So the level 1 of maturity is when you actually don't have any clear structure about your inputs and about your processes that you are doing because they are too custom for your projects or your customers. And you have also no structure in your outputs. So this is like level 1. And the strange thing here is that majority of classical IT companies are in this phase because of this custom approach to do their work. So level 2 would be clear structure. What does this really mean? This would mean that you have a clear structure, what are the inputs your company takes. And I'm speaking about company, but this can be even your own role. Just that you are aware how mature you are in your own role that you're doing. So you will anyhow have inputs, but you now know that you have like forms or like you have a structure, which kind of inputs you are taking in. And you know what kind of processes you are doing. So you know, like in a sense, if in the process you have these tasks and you know that you have to fulfill them. And also you know your outputs. You know that you are going to, I don't know, your output is going to be offer for the client, you know how to structure the offer, or what you know that your product will be, and you know the parts of the product that has to be. But what you don't know are the relationships. So you don't know what kind of input will bring what kind of process, and what kind of process will bring what kind of output to the end. So if your way of work is in this state, this would be considered like level 2. Level 3 would be structured and measurable. What does this really mean? This means that you have structured input, but you really know, you can measure, like you have KPIs that will bring you from this specific, if you have this specific input, that will bring you to that specific process. You know like how this process is related to output, so you really know what should be output of each of the process, and but you're doing it manually. You are doing it like on your own. The 4th level of maturity of organization is automated process. So in this sense, like you know whatever what you knew from the level 3, but we add here really automatization of the work. And we don't really have to do, of course this is not for all the tasks, to be clear, but it is for majority of the tasks that can be automatized, you do this. And the 5th level is actually something that everybody is striving to. And that's like this continuous learning improvement together with AI tools, AI technology. So this would mean that really like you would introduce models to your company, you will, or your work, and they will like continuously learn, improve your input forms, improve your processes, improve your outputs, and really your company then can be considered mature. And this is the level when you can say that you are AI-driven company. And I don't know how many of you have the situation in your companies or even in your way of work to say that you are like this. And actually, that's a problem because majority of companies are not aware of their current situation because they promote themselves as better as they are. And they are so much talking about that they forget even themselves what's the real situation. And then when it comes to these observations of these reviews, they are not objective. So there are even companies in the world who do different kind of certification in the sense of organizational maturity, but this is something that I don't really see IT companies and companies that are not enterprises really doing. And this is essential if you want really to do this AI transformation, because you cannot skip these steps. You cannot really come from 1 to 5, because your quality of data, which was mentioned multiple times in this conference, will be garbage. So you cannot do any kind of predictions based on so different informations that then have no correlation between themselves. So, and when I say to think about all the processes and throughout the organization, I really don't think about only development processes in the sense of software. I really talk about like finance team or sales team. When I say sales team, I don't mean like your suggestions, what do you want to buy, in a sense. I think about the sales team who is preparing for a new acquisition of a customer of new project. So currently, a majority of sales team, for example, in this concrete example, don't really use all the potential of AI. For example, if you are going to be on some conference and you know that you potentially can meet some representative from industry that you never worked for, why don't you use AI tools to get insight of 10 problems in that industry, which you don't know normally nothing about, and you would spend like months. But now you can use AI tools to like create even these 10 problems, and then you create presentation that really showcase how your company can solve these problems for your end customer. And of course, in your interaction with the end customer, you present that. And they will not have all of these 10 problems. They would be really in mass if they would have all of them. But if they have 3, 2, or even 1, you have a great conversation starter in the first meeting with your potential customer. So, and from that on, you can also use AI tools, even with, just for preparation of estimations, or even like some kind of basic proof of concepts. Because currently customers there are some that are deep in AI industry and so, but currently they are all trying to find chatbots. They are trying to find really simple AI projects. So it would be really beneficial if you, on second meeting with them, would showcase some kind of proof of concept, and you can make it together with some of these technologies. We also have a showcase for finance team, but because of the time, I will skip it. I comment it later on. So just to have enough time, key considerations again. I have to highlight here is the quality of data, that we really have to think about what are our inputs and how we are really processing our data, because still maybe some of your companies are really good at it, but still really large number of companies are struggling with data management and the quality of data that they have. Well-defined processes, this is in a sense that you really see where and how AI can add new value to your organization. Because it's not really important that you implement AI everywhere. You should implement AI where it best fits for you. Clear and valuable outputs. This is like really, it was also said by others, but really important, as I mentioned, to really see what kind of output you would have, and would it be better output than it was when you done it by your previous process that you had. One of the things that is a topic for itself is this overcoming resistance to change, but I believe you heard about that enough. So, for my final words, I really encourage you all to start objectively analyzing your own situations. Rather, if whatever your role is, as I mentioned, you don't have to be CEO to start analyzing how you do your work, what's your workflow, and to really see where you are on this maturity level. Because you will have to develop strategic approach, because these just partial implementation of tools will not lead to the potential that AI transformation can give you. And the big thing here is that this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. It is not enough for you to just implement one tool and you get some kind of output and that's it. It's really a long run and preparation for next steps. To be able to do so, again, doesn't matter your role, you really have to adopt this beginner mindset. I don't know if you heard about that, but this is really a mindset that will allow you to change. Mindset that you will try your best to resist your familiar paths, that you resist really your defaults, how you normally do things, and to be really curious. I'm really, I don't know how to say, even a little bit angry when I speak with directors of different departments who don't even ever tested ChatGPT, even ChatGPT on their own, because they are in legal, because they are in procurement, because they are in controlling, or because they are in hire or something else. So this really has to be professional obligation of everybody to be curious and to really try to find a way how to implement AI in their way of works. And one thing, I really like this quote: the future doesn't unfold on its own, it is shaped by those who take action. It was also mentioned on this stage early on that we don't have time for transformations. We don't have 20, 30 years anymore. We have maybe 1 year for the transformation or 2 years, max 3 years for that, depending on the industry you are in. IT doesn't have any more time. IT had to be doing this 2 years ago. So if you did not think about this 2 years ago, you are lagging behind. One of the major things for CEOs is, and the high management of companies, they're thinking about this as cost center. Everything is a cost center, so AI transformation is a cost center. But rather to think it about cost center, let's think about it as innovation enabler, because it is. And because when you are really implementing AI transformation in your organization, you will hit your company's goal, because your people, who you have right now, will work more efficiently. Their outputs will be better than they were without it. And actually, in the end, your company is going to learn to earn more money based on the achievements of your employees. And the fifth thing is to be authentic. We really cannot copy other companies. And in a sense, when we say, okay, they did this, I don't know, 20 projects, let's do that. Maybe your company max capacity is 5. And from these 5 is 4 really small ones, and the one who is a little bit on longer run. And you have these, or even maybe 3, so you have 2 smaller ones who will bring the needed achievement, fast achievement, the culture, will help the culture of the company. So, and the one who will, on long run, bring you actual value to your company. And why I'm saying all of this, and why we don't have really so much time, is actually because there are new topics around the corner. We did speak about some of them, but we did not really touch them quite specific on the conference. And that's, for example, this environment impact of AI solutions. So even if you're an IT company and you're developing some AI solutions, you already right now have to consider the environment impact of using your solutions, because that's just going to be more and more promoted. One of the topics that we did not really at all heard is the state of quantum computing right now, which is not so far away from being closely implemented with IT companies and other industries. So there is it's maybe 5 years from now, but you have to be prepared for that. You have to prepare your projects for it, you have to prepare your organization, and even you, whatever your role is as a professional, have to be prepared and have to at least do these things, what we mentioned before, right now, so you will be prepared for these topics in the future. So I am out of time, but this is my LinkedIn link. So please contact me, and maybe if you have some questions, we can go through right now. Thank you.
Please. All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Marija, for your presentation.
Thank you.
This is a little certificate of our appreciation. We do have time for one more question. So, are there any volunteers? No?
Was it of any
happy?
interest to you, the presentation? Did you hear maybe something interesting or?
Yeah, we have over here.
I don't need a microphone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are close here.
No, it's not an issue. You're saying that with IT, what I'm finding, and I only do large companies, right?
Mhm.
We always have IT on there, big time, and we always have project managers on there. So, and for us, a lot of the issues are associated with the fact that they're stuck with lots and lots of old tech stacks that we can't get them off of. So actually, it's IT who's in their procurement over the years has hemmed in the enterprise, and actually you can't progress, you can't transform because they've locked themselves in, and IT is the gatekeeper to that. So how do you work with that?
Actually, in the company where I'm right now, this is really old industry, and some of our clients, which are from all of the industries I mentioned, are for example, still working in Excel sheets, and they are maybe are ready or not even to be sold the digitalization. So for AI transformation, they are far away from it. But the thing what we are seeing is, even in our company, that you have to showcase people something with you. For example, for procurement, we have in our colleague who have 500 pages of requests for a project, and they have to analyze it and write down all the specification, I don't know, for cables, electric cables, this size, that and that, and this takes us months and months. And one of the ways how actually I myself did pitch this to our high management was to really showcase them on basic, even then it was like 2 years ago, basic ChatGPT. How can I, when I input documentation, how it can help me at least in 60% of the time collect all the relevant disinformation, and I can then just check them in the document itself. So it quite reduces the time. So I believe that this is a segment of change management in people rather than the technology possibilities. So I would go in that sense to really make some small presentation of the potential, because when people actually see that they are not going to be replaced, rather that they are going to be enhanced with some tools that they can use to enhance their work, they are more willingly to change. So this was even 2 years ago, one concrete example how we did it, and even right now how we do it.
Okay. Thank you for the question. I think that's all the time we have for now. Please, another round of applause for Marija.
Thank you.
For being a true soldier in our last talk.